Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnah followers, stream it every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Only way we'll make it is surrender. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Only way we'll make it is surrender. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Morning hands and feet get wet, my Lord. Get wet, get wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet. Getting ready for our conversation, deep and in-depth. Obligations are serious and need to be met, so I prepare so I won't forget. Go ahead and make a good intention. Yeah, yeah. You can wrap up some good things. Yeah, make a donation to the side and go from left to make it right. Just remember and don't lose sight. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal. You ascribe, scribe, scribe, scribe. 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 Just need to stay away. And you just need to stay away. Stay away today. There's a heavy price to pay. Stay away, stay away, stay away. Join us every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Ustadah Laila Live call-in and answer show. Please join Ustadah Laila Nasheeba. If you have any questions in regards to this theme, call in at 862-370-2838. Now streaming on various platforms right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Excuse me. Inna alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. You guys see I changed the time for this class to 7, and I made it on time for the change. You know, apologize. I just woke up still though, so my voice is kind of groggy, and since we're still fasting, can't put anything in it yet. This is the 19th day of Ramadan. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. This is the 19th day of Ramadan. First of all, you should congratulate yourselves on making it to, excuse me, the 19th day. But again, we're getting ready to go into the last 10 days. We're completing, almost upon completion. We're almost upon completion of the 3rd week of fasting. The body is used to it by now. Your stomach has shrank. Your stomach is used to going without all that food. If you've been doing moderation, like we have encouraged you to do this month, because again, Islam is Ramadan is the month of change. Okay. You know that most of us have noticed that we overeat. We eat more than what we need to survive. A lot of us survive to eat instead of eating to survive. So your stomach should have shrank by now. Hopefully you're just being moderate in what you put in it. No more than a fistful of food, you know. That's it at one time. A fistful is all you need. Okay. And keep it moving. Then that way you can still function. You can bend, you can move, you can pray, you can make dua. You don't want to just go to sleep. So alhamdulillah, the body is used to fasting by now. Also, you have better control over your emotions. Inshallah, your tongue should be curtailed pretty well by now. For those of you who have began the Nicoderm patch program, the nicotine should be almost out of your system now, because the Nicoderm patch program is only a 30-day program. So you should really have a less desire for cigarette if you've been following it correctly. And again, whenever we stop doing any bad habit, what can we say to keep us away from that habit? Remind yourself that it's haram. It's haram, that whatever the thing you're doing is, it's haram, and that you can go to hell for it. You know, for you smokers, when that desire to smoke comes back to you, think about the reality that you're going to go to hell for that. That if you should break your neck, if you should be walking down the street, get hit by a car, or if you were to have an accident on the job and die, and you have not quit smoking, you're going to be in your grave punished in the hellfire for that, because it's the same as drinking alcohol. It's the same as smoking marijuana, because nicotine is an intoxicant. Nicotine is an intoxicant. Okay. So think about that, the hellfire. That will discourage you from going back to that dirty habit. Hold on for 1 second. Get my door. Good timing. Okay. Hello. Hi, thank you. This is Have an amazing night. You too. Thank you. Okay. All right. I apologize. Had to answer the door. So, inshallah, you know, whenever we are tempted to go back to fall upon those bad habits, think about the reality that this is something haram that you're doing. That if you should die right now, you're going to be in your grave in the hellfire. Allah's going to place you in the hellfire for that. And what's the punishment for intoxicants? You'll be drinking boiling water over and over and over again. When you drink it, it will go into your stomach. It will cause your stomach to explode, and your guts will be exploded out. And then you'll keep doing it over and over and over until the day of judgment. Think about that reality. That will discourage you from smoking cigarettes. That will discourage you from doing any type of intoxicants. Everybody understand that? All right. So yesterday for this class, what I spoke about is also during this third week of fasting, we should be working on our character, trying to change our character to that which is pleasing to Allah. Yesterday, I spoke about gratitude, how so many of us are ungrateful to the favors of Allah. Whenever Allah sends a test our way or a trial our way, instead of us looking to see the good that this trial may bring, we focus on the negativity of it and we cave in. Some of us to the point where we question Allah and ask why he did this to us. We blame him. So we talked about how to get away from that. We have to train ourselves. This is what the Prophet taught the companions, because nobody suffered more than they did. They were dealing with abuse and war all their lives. The Prophet ﷺ taught them that the way to survive is to focus on the good, to look beneath all that bad stuff, to look beneath all the bad things that's going on in your life and look for that ray, that fitra, that little ray of light, because there's good in everything, even shaitan. The good in shaitan is if you don't listen to him, you go into paradise. So that's what I want you guys to focus on this third week of Ramadan, looking to the good in all your bad situations. Well, the good thing is, if with this divorce, subhanAllah, the good thing is once I divorce him, where our divorce is over, Allah will send me somebody else that will understand me better. Allah may send me a man that can provide for me the way I need to be provided. So look to see the good, because Allah doesn't take away anything without replacing it with something better. If you are a person who performs your prayers and obeys Allah, whatever he takes away from you, he gives you better to replace it. So look to that as a good in that. Well, I lost this job. That's okay. Allah is going to give me a better job, that'll be better for me and more money for me. Look to see the positive. Okay. Well, I lost my child. Okay. The good thing is that child will intercede for me on the day of judgment. That child doesn't have to grow up in this world and its fitra be threatened to the point of apostation. That child is in a better place. That child is in paradise. And that child is rooting for me and will be begging for me to enter. That's how you see the good in death. Somebody asked me, how do you see the good in death? Well, nobody lives forever. All of us are going to die. I knew that. At least the person's not suffering anymore. The person was in pain. She died, and at least all her pain is gone. If it was a non-Muslim, all her pain and suffering is gone from this world. Maybe the fact that she was a kafir, but she was good to me. What's the good about it? She's going to be in hell forever, but maybe she'll be with the lightest punishment. She'll have one of the lightest punishments in hell because Allah take in consideration how she helped me. Okay. Look to see the good in everything. Okay. And also, once you recognize the good in everything, then you want to show gratitude towards Allah. We talked about how Ramadan is the month of gratitude, showing gratitude to Allah. And when I told you guys that yesterday, I got a couple of emails. Some of the kids and also the new shahadas asked me, Sister Laila, what is the proper way to thank Allah? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. The excuse me, the proper way to thank Allah. All right. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. I want everybody to take screenshots. For the adults, the parents, for the parents, use your cell phone or your computer to take screenshots. And for the children, let the children watch me on the big screen TV, because the big screen TV, you know how it is. TV keeps the children's attention. Plus, I heard I look better and different on TV. I still haven't seen me on TV, y'all. I'm going to look at it maybe tonight. I'll look at one of the ones. I'm so busy doing the website. I don't have time for anything for myself, but I'm going to try to look at the TV today to see how I look. Hold on. Let me cut this off. There. Wait a minute. Y'all know this thing was giving us a problem yesterday. There it is. I fixed it. Okay. Yeah, the kid here just type, I got you on the TV, Sister Layla. You do? You like my yellow, my gold? This is a yellow gold. Do I look okay, honey? You know I just woke up. How do I look? Oh, I look beautiful. MashaAllah. May Allah bless you, sweetie. And I can see you too. You look beautiful too. And I've been watching the kids. I see you've been fasting. MashaAllah. I'm so proud of you because you've been fasting this Ramadan. So proud of you. 10 years old. And you've been doing the whole day. MashaAllah. I've been keeping my eyes on you. Amara. Yeah, beautiful name. Amara. Y'all can't see their type, and they're on Trovo. Their name is Amira. Amira, MashaAllah. I'm proud of you. You keep on fasting. You almost there. You almost made it to the end. MashaAllah. She says she wants to be like me when she grow up. Be like Aisha, radiyallahu anha. You've been listening to my series on the female companions of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Try to be like Aisha. She was my role model because she was a scholar. She was strong, intelligent, beautiful, a woman of dignity, a woman of humility and balance. She didn't let nobody break her. The man couldn't break her. Yes. And also did you hear about story on Kala? Kala, warrior. Okay. MashaAllah. Those are the perfect role models for you, are those female companions. But I'm proud of you, Amira. I am so proud of you. I've been keeping my eye on you. Sure have. Here in TV land. MashaAllah. And that's for all the children. I'm proud of all of the kids here because this was a good Ramadan for you all. I've been watching you. Oh, yeah. I've been keeping my eyes on you and your parents, your moms. Oh, yeah. Your moms did good, too. And let's give a shout out to the mothers. A shout out to the mothers. Your mom made this Ramadan good for you, didn't she? She made sure you had a nice, nourishing meal to break your fast with. She made sure that you didn't overeat. She taught you how to pray. You've been making your tarawih. The girls have been making their tarawih at home with their mom. I'm so proud of you. I've been watching y'all. And by the way, the new shahadas, I've been watching the kids too. You and your parents, you and your mother have been praying together. Y'all got it together. I seen you stand there and raise your hands. Allahu Akbar, and put your hands across the chest. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah. I've been watching you. You guys are doing good. I'm so proud of all of you. Okay, MashaAllah. Okay, well, today we're going to talk about how to show our thankfulness to Allah. How to thank Allah. How to thank Allah for our parents. The proper way to thank Allah for the clothes, for allowing our parents to be able to buy the clothes for us that we have. how to thank Allah for the fact that we're living right here and we're not experiencing what other Muslims in other parts of the world are experiencing that's pretty bad. Well, we're going to talk about the proper way to thank Allah. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. My babies. Amira. Beautiful name. That's a beautiful name too. MashaAllah. Yeah, the kids get me. It's the adults that don't understand, Layla. The kids always get me. Yeah, because their fitra is ignited. Okay, here we go. Here's the PowerPoint, guys. Her mother just texted me. No problem, sweetheart. Thanks for the encouragement. No problem. We all need encouragement. Okay, here we go. This is the 19th day of Ramadan. And today what I'm going to do is speak about how to properly thank Allah. Everyone take notes, old and new, because a lot of the old Muslims been asking me this too. Well, we're going to cover it. We have to ponder, and here's your reward for the Quran for the day. You don't have to read a Jews. I don't know where that came from. The Prophet Muhammad didn't tell no companions to read no Jews of the Quran. They didn't even have Jews of the Quran and none of that in the original Quran. I don't know where that came from. But we should ponder some of the Quran this month, and now everybody's going to get the blessings, including the children. Because I'm going to talk about this verse here right now, and I'm going to give you the meaning of it. So this is your reward of the Quran for today. Allah tells us in the interpretation of the meaning, He will never change the mercy which He has bestowed upon a people until they change what is in their own selves. Y'all hear me say this a lot, because there's also a hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained the meaning of this verse. He said Allah will never change the condition of a person until that person changes the condition of himself. What does that mean? That means you have to take the first step, like Sister Sandra did. Sister Sandra took the first step to kick the habit of smoking cigarettes, and Allah then helped her with the rest. Now she is smoke-free. She's smoke-free. She says she has no desire for a cigarette. In fact, if she thinks about it, all she sees is fire. She said because she programmed her head, her mind to think, that of the hellfire when she thinks of cigarettes. So that's how it works, guys. Whenever we take the steps to change the condition of ourselves, then Allah will meet us in that, and He will help us in that. This is one of the ways in which He deals with us. And also, guys, remember, just like Allah doesn't put a burden on us that we can't handle, He also creates our conditions based on our faith too. Allah knew that she could kick the habit of smoking. Allah knew that she could do it. He knew she could do it. She just had to look inside herself and realize that she could do it. And when she took that step by getting those Nicoderm patches, look how Allah brought her about with success and victory. So our belief system is contingent upon our lives, guys. In other words, our lives are contingent on our belief system. If we truly believe in Allah and we're truly showing it through our actions, He's going to try to make your life better for you. He will send tests your way because we were created to be tested. But He'll always send relief afterwards too. Listen to what Allah says in another verse of the Quran, and you'll get more reward. Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, so let them worship Allah, the Lord of the Kaaba, who provides them with food when they're hungry and protection when they fear danger. So Allah is the one, guys, who provides for us He's the one that protects us. He's the one that nourishes us. He's the one that will keep us living. Remember, as long as you are living, Allah will cause you to survive. So trust in him, worship him, obey him. Listen to what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, and this should inspire all of us to stand up and handle the trials of life. He said, how remarkable is the case of the true believer. There is good for him in everything, but this is only for the believer. When the believer receives something good, he becomes thankful to Allah for it, and Allah in turn will reward him. And when something bad happens to the believer, he endures it patiently because he knows Allah is not going to place a burden on him that he can't handle. And as a result, Allah rewards him. But this is only for the believer, guys, only for the true believer. The question is, how many of you are believers? How many of us are true believers? Unfortunately, guys, most of us Muslims today are hypocrites. What does that mean? Most of us Muslims today say we believe in Allah, but in reality, we don't. When Allah throws us a curveball, we cave in, we fall. A lot of us begin to question Allah and even blame him for what's happening on earth. You know? So this is what I want us to focus on during this third week of fasting. Showing thankfulness to Allah. Looking at the bad situation closely and instead seeing good in it. And then falling down and thanking Allah for the good. Excuse me, fasting and talking is kind of hard. Especially when I'm trying to make my voice, go up and down to shake your hearts. I'm trying to shake your hearts, but it's kind of hard. I ain't got no water in me. But anyway, so a lot of people ask, what is thankfulness? What does it mean to show thankfulness to Allah? Well, in the Islamic terms, thankfulness is to acknowledge the fact that Allah is the one who brings good things to you. And as a result of that, you fall in submission to him to acknowledge this. In other words, you submit, you obey him as a way of showing your thankfulness to him. And by the way, guys, the blessings of Allah are endless. As human beings, it's so easy for us to sit around and complain and mope and cry. And we think, oh, life is horrible. Ain't nothing good ever happened to me. But if we were to think about it, there's a lot of good in our lives. You can see, you can hear, you can walk, you got hands. There's some people that can't see, some people that can't hear, some people that can't walk, some people that don't have hands. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, more reward for the Quran. If you were to count the blessings of Allah, you will never be able to count them all. It's easy to focus on negativity. It's hard to sit there and count all the good things in your life. Also, Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, whatever blessings and goods you have, it came from Allah. And on the other hand, guys, whatever bad happens to us came from Allah too, because of what we brought on ourselves. Why are Muslims suffering all over the world today? We brought it on ourselves. We can't blame the Zionists. We can't blame the Kafirs. Let's be real. We can only blame ourselves for what's happening because we've deviated away from the Quran. We've deviated away from the Sunnah. We've replaced the Hadith with fatwa. We're blindly following famous personalities on the internet who don't even know the religion. who don't even understand what wala wal bara is, who don't even understand what it means to respect women, to respect your wife, to respect your mother. So whatever evil happens to us, came from Allah too, because we brought it on ourselves. Whenever we deviate away from true Islam, whenever we replace the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the words of man, there'll always be chaos. Okay? So that brings us to the question for tonight. How do we go about properly thanking Allah? Well, write it down. Whenever something good happens to you, it could be getting good news. Say, for example, you get a phone call and they say you got the job. Or say, for example, your father comes to you and says he has a proposition for you. Or you find out that you're pregnant. You find out that you got an A on your exam in college. Whenever you receive the good news, the first thing you should do is prostrate to Allah if you can. What do I mean by prostrate? That's why I use this picture. This is prostration. If you are able to go down to the floor, not all of us can do it. I can't anymore. But if you are able to go down to the floor, whenever you hear something good, go down to the floor just like this and assume this position and prostrate. If you cannot go to the floor, you can stand and bow. Bow. You're standing up. That's what I do. I stand up and I'll bow because I can't go to the floor, but I can bow. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to prostrate to Allah whenever he received good news. And the whole purpose of this is to give thanks to Allah. So what do? You bow if you can't go to the floor. If you can go to the floor and prostrate. We have a hadith where once the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam went outside and Abdul Rahman ibn Auf followed him. And he saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam enter a garden. And the Prophet just prostrated. And he stayed in that position so long that Abdul Rahman thought that Allah had taken his soul. So Abdul Rahman ran over to look to see. And when he went over to look to see what was going on, the Prophet raised his head. And the Prophet looked at him and said, "What's wrong?" And Abdul Rahman told him, "You prostrated. I didn't know. I thought maybe something had happened." And that's when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what happened was the angel Jibril came to me and told me that Allah says, whoever prays for me, Allah will pray for them. And whoever greets me, Allah will greet them. And I was so happy to hear that I prostrated to Allah in thanks. So this is the dalil. This is the hadith. Okay? So whenever you receive any good news, a new job, you're pregnant, a marriage proposal, your rent got paid, somebody sent you some food, the first thing you should do is prostrate. And then when you prostrate, when you assume that position, thank Allah in words. What do you say? You simply say, "Oh Allah, thank you for whatever it is." For example, you got word that you got the job you applied for. You prostrate and you say, "Oh Allah," use your tongue. Use your tongue. Say it out loud if you can, because your tongue will testify on your behalf on the day of judgment that you did it. So you don't scream it out, but say it just so you can hear it. Say, "Oh Allah, thank you for giving me this job." Just say that. Say, for example, you got a marriage proposal. Your father tells you that you got a marriage proposal. You prostrate and you say, oh Allah, thank you for the marriage proposal. Let it be, let good come from it. Just thank him with your tongue. And by the way, most of the scholars agree that if a person does not thank Allah for whatever good you have, then guess what? Allah will take that good away from you, and he may never bring you back any good. And what do they base that on? They base that on this hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it's a good thing when a believer praises and thanks Allah for whatever good that comes to him, and praises Allah and shows patience if something bad happens. The believer is rewarded for everything, even for the drop of bread that he puts in his mouth, his wife's mouth to eat. So they based on that hadith, most of the scholars will tell you that if you don't thank Allah, Allah will take that blessing away from you and he'll stop sending good things to you. One of the new shahadas asked me, she said, Sister Laila, why is it that it seems like nothing good ever happens to me? I told her, maybe that's why. Because you complain all the time. You're always complaining about how wretched you are. Why don't you stop complaining and take the time to look and see the good that Allah has given you that you have not acknowledged? And then once you see those good things in your life, prostrate and thank Allah for that. And then he'll start sending more good to you. So that's the second thing you do. The first thing you do is prostrate. If you can't prostrate, bow. Stand up and bow. That's what I do. And thank Allah for whatever it is. Say it with your tongue. And then after you thank him, you think about all the other good things that Allah has given you. Why? Because hiding the favors of Allah is a sign of what we talked about yesterday, ungratefulness. And Allah doesn't want us to be ungrateful. As Allah says in the interpretation of meaning, more reward for the Quran today. Do they believe in the false deities and deny the favors of Allah? So as I'm prostrating, I'm going to say with my tongue, thank you, Allah. Thank you, Allah, for this new job. And then I'm going to think about all the other things he's given me. Oh my gosh, not only do I have this new job, but I can hear, I can see, I can walk, I can type. I'm able to fulfill that job. Allah has blessed me with the ability to perform that job. Think about that. And then after you remember the other blessings that Allah gave you, you can get up off the floor. And then Allah loves for us to follow up by doing a good deed. So try to help somebody else who's going through a hardship in life. When Allah sends good to you, after you thank him, try to be a beam of sunshine in somebody else's life. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, as the blessings from Allah increase to you, the people will need you too. If you ignore their needs, then Allah will take them away. And this is something that I have to remind my students in the Zoom room. I'm always saying, I'm a daya. I have to let them know I'm not the same as you. I'm not the same as you. I'm on a different level as you. I have to show
I'm not going to
moderators, I have to show my gratitude to Allah.
Oh my God.
Do I have any moderators here? I have to show my gratitude to Allah because the fact that more people need me. A lot of the sisters say, why do the people call you? They need me. I can't ignore them. I have to answer their calls. I have to call them back because the fact that the people need me, that's a sign that Allah is pleased with me. if I don't respond to the people, if I don't help Gracie, if I don't check on Sabrine, if I don't, Allah will take it all away from me. I'm a dyer. The more people need me, that's a sign that I'm doing right. As long as the people need me, that's a sign from Allah that he's pleased with Laila. And I got to keep it coming by
Your mom was really cool about letting you go today. I was not expecting that. She can be cool at times.
I guess I don't have any.
I think it just depends on what's going on. Like if I were to
I don't have any moderators.
Astaghfirullah. I would have been in there.
Is there anybody else here that I can give moderation to that can mute the people when they come in?
I'm in here, Laila.
Okay, Precious. Who's that? Precious?
Yes.
Okay, you know how to mute, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't know where I never have people here when I need, and it's always when I'm doing a good lecture like this. Okay.
If you need to, you can add us on too, because me and my Shay are both in here.
Okay, y'all know how to mute?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there y'all go. This is ridiculous. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to the thing now. Okay, hold on. Okay, where am I? Can y'all see? Oh, let me go back to my PowerPoint. Hold on. It's messed up. Okay, so that's the fourth thing that we have to do, guys. When Allah sends good to you, you prostrate and thank him, and then help the other people who are in need. Remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if anyone just strokes the head of an orphan for the sake of Allah, Allah will reward you with a blessing for every hair over which your hand passes on his head. If anyone treats an orphan girl or boy under his care well, you're going to be close with Allah on the day of judgment. Okay? So again, after you thank Allah for whatever good happened to you, do a good deed for somebody else who is in need. Cook some food, take it to the mosque for the single brothers. Cook some food, a pot of soup. Take it to that sister over there who's got 5 kids and no husband, but she's working every day. Offer to babysitter kids for. Go help somebody else in need. So these are things that we can do, guys. I want us to focus on as we're in these last days of Ramadan. It's easy for us to get caught up in the rat race of life. It's easy for us, to get to the point where we complain and all we see are the bad things, the negative things in people, the negative things in life. I want you guys to focus on the good in people and the good things in life that Allah has given you, and then thank him. Thank him. Eventually, it'll become a habit. When you hear any good news, oh, my mother's doing fine. Alhamdulillah, prostrate. Thank you, Allah, for keeping my mother healthy. Thank you, Allah. And then think about how fortunate you are that you got a mother who don't have mothers. Your child comes home from school with a good report card. Prostrate and say, thank you, Allah, for guiding my child to earn good grades. And then think about how there are other kids who are selling drugs, other kids whose parents can't get them to go to school, other kids out there who are a total disappointment to their parents. That's what that means when it says, think about all the other blessings. Think about all the other good. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? Any questions?
Okay, one, it's time to break your fast. And 2, you hit on everything that I had questions about today. Alhamdulillah.
Really?
Yeah, you mentioned about how to thank Allah, and I was just wondering about that. When I prostrate, how am I doing it?
Yeah.
So you hit on that. Alhamdulillah.
And by the way, guys, for those of you who can't prostrate to the floor, like I said, if you can bow, just bow. Just bow like this. Thank you, Allah. Thank you, Allah. I did that today. Let me tell y'all, y'all know I'm quirky. Something silly always happens to me. Today I got up, I had an appointment, and I didn't sleep. I stayed up all night to 9:30. Went to my appointment. Then afterwards, I said, let me go. I finally went to the grocery store myself, and I was just amazed at all the things I saw. Fresh fruit. I bought me some bananas. I didn't think of bananas while I'm fasting, and I was walking through the store, and then I bought everything, went to pay for it, and I was shocked because I Instacart. Instacart is more money. When I got up there to pay, she said $60. I said, what? Paying 100 and something. She said $60. That's all, ma'am. So I did. I said, oh, I did like a bow. I said, thank you, Allah, thank you, Allah, thank you, Allah, because I ain't got no money. I said, I ain't got no money. Everybody was looking at me and started laughing. The people in line started laughing at me. I said, oh, I'm sorry. It's just a habit. Whenever I get good news, I always bow and thank my Lord. And the woman said, that's right. We got to thank Jesus. I said, no, I didn't thank Jesus. I said, I thank the Lord. I said, but she said, well, I do the same thing. I said, I always thank, the Lord, for whatever good happens. But I thought it was so funny that people laughed at me. Hold on for 1 second. Any other questions? Go ahead. Let me get some water to break the fast with. Any other questions? Go ahead. I can hear you.
Yes, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. I'm coming in.
Okay. So say if you're sleeping and then you wake up, you know how sometimes when your soul is like put in your body and you wake up really fast. So I woke up really fast this morning and I drank something and then I didn't realize it was already Fajr time. So do I need to make that up?
Well, Allah doesn't hold us accountable for what we did not know. Okay. You must have needed that. So no, you don't have to make that up. So you forgot. You didn't know. So no, inshallah. That zakat al-fitr, the zakat al-fitr will cover that. The zakat, that's what the zakat al-fitr is for. It compensates for any mistakes you make during the fast. But if you had deliberately, intentionally eaten, that's different. But you didn't know. You woke up thinking that it was, you still had time. So that's different.
I woke up like really fast. Just went to go drink something, and then I laid back down thinking I had time to eat some more. But then I opened the window. I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Your zakat al-fitr make up for that. Okay. Let's see.
And then you have a question in the Zoom.
Go ahead.
It says, can the prostration for gratitude be only in the direction of the Qibla or any direction?
Now, remember, I want y'all to understand there are some people that make this religion hard for you by imposing conditions. This is the hadith. The hadith doesn't mention nothing about facing the direction of the Qibla. The prophet used to prostrate, and he wasn't facing the direction of the Qibla all the time. You could be tied up to a tree and bow. So when we start adding other things into it, you make the religion ugly and you make it hard. So no, it just says prostrate. And by the way, you don't have to have wudu. This is another misconception. You do not have to have wudu to prostrate either. You do not have to be in a state of purification. A woman can be on her menses and prostrate. A woman can be on her menses and bow to show gratitude. So that's another misconception. Sister Rashida, what I encourage all you Muslims to do, this is Ramadan. You guys need to stop hanging around with weak Muslims. Y'all got this. This is another one of the reasons why Allah has sent war to us. We've deviated away from the Sunnah. We're sitting around arguing about the religion. We're sitting around pitting hadiths against each other. And we're hanging around with people that we know don't know their religion. The companions didn't do that. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said a man is you can judge a man and his character by who he associates with. The fact that you women are hanging around with Muslims that don't understand their deen, that shows me that you got some issues. Laila Nasheeba don't hang around with people that don't know Islam. My closest friends, I only have 2 friends, and I've had them since I was 12 years old. And they are just like me. One is Latifa, the other one is Aisha. And they're just like me. We don't hang around with nobody weak, period. Because we understand that only the strong survive. Why would I be in a group with people who don't know their religion? Why are you women in these Facebook groups? Why are y'all joining groups with a bunch of Muslims that don't even know how to pray? And you think that it's not going to affect you? Can't you guys see how weak you've become in your religion since you've been hanging around in those groups? I can see it in a lot of you as a daya. I can see a lot of you have become very weak in your understanding of this religion. And you're probably weak in your practice because you're hanging around with uneducated, weak people. Y'all got to stop arguing and debating this religion because all it's doing is causing you to question what you should know. You shouldn't be asking me questions like that, Sister Rashida. You've been coming here long enough to know that anytime somebody says something is haram, they have to bring the evidence. So where's the evidence? You shouldn't be asking me that. But see, these people have weakened you now. They've weakened you to the point that you are questioning what you know. You're wondering, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. Y'all better get out of those Facebook groups. And don't come to me asking me questions so you can go back and argue with other Muslims. Because that's not what I'm here for. I'm a daya. I'm trying to call you back to the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. I'm trying to call you away from those Facebook groups that y'all in. But if y'all in them, what's the point? I'm not going to waste my time with you. Like that hadith, like the verse of the Quran we went over today. Allah will only change the condition of the people who take the steps to change the condition of themselves. When I see that many of you are in Facebook groups arguing and debating the religion with a bunch of uneducated Muslims, that means you are not changing yourself. That means you're not doing what the Prophet said to do to change yourself. He said, surround yourself with strong practicing Muslims, not weak ones. So don't come to me asking me to help you win your fight or to reassure your faith, because that's what it is. You're basically asking me to help you to reassure your faith. I'm not going to help you with that. No, you figure it out. Get out of those people's groups. Y'all understand that? That's for everybody. Yeah, we got too many other people who are taking the religion seriously. I got some strong shahadas here who have totally canned their family. They don't even hang out with some of their relatives anymore because their relatives are bad for them. They rather be alone with Allah and this website than go around weak Muslims. And then I got people that's been Muslim all their life and y'all going backwards. Y'all still hanging around with these ignorant Muslims that don't take this religion seriously. I ain't got time for that. I really don't. Yeah. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, exactly. Sister Pamela said Ramadan's been a blessing for her. Exactly. This has been a good Ramadan for me too. Okay, what do you mean it came up on Facebook? So Shaitan sent you something on Facebook to question your faith. Deal with it. You should know that answer, Rashida. Don't check with me. I am not the one to use to try to put your faith back right because you allow Shaitan to send you a curveball. Shaitan is going to be sending curveballs to y'all every day to try to get you to question Allah. Shaitan is doing everything in his power. That's your personal jinn. Your personal jinn is doing everything in her power to take you away from environment. She's done everything in her power to get you to question the truth. I am not going to be a part of it. Y'all better stop it. You better learn how to block. Do you know how much pornography that comes my way? Shaitan sends me porn. Oh, yeah. See, y'all deal with that crap. Allah tests us on our own level. Shaitan sends porno to me. Do I sit there and play in the porno? No, I just block it and keep it moving. Y'all better learn how to block and keep it moving. Instead of allowing your personal jinn to win her battle against you and cause you to question what you should already know. Y'all understand? Yeah, I wish y'all could see some of the porno that comes my way. Oh, yeah, I get naked bodies. Oh, yeah. My personal jinn knows she can forget it. You can send all the naked bodies you want to. I don't care. I'm a block and keep it moving. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, why would you ask me a question like that then if you ain't questioning? You should know the answer to that. You should know. Seriously. Remember, certainty of faith. We're going to talk about that too. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, don't just say you believe in Allah. Have certainty of that. In other words, be sure. I know what I know, and ain't nothing you can do to make me question what I know. I know the truth. Ain't nothing you can do to make me ask, well, maybe it's a weak hadith. I know weak hadiths, and I know the ones that ain't. And there's nothing that no man, no woman, no jinn can do to make me question what I know. That's called certainty of faith. We all have to work on certainty of faith. Shaitan don't send me that crap because Shaitan knows that I ain't going to fall for it. So he sends me porno. And I block it too. Okay. Good question. Does vomiting break the fast? No. So for you sisters out there, who vomit, vomiting does not break your fast. If you're pregnant and you throw up, vomiting does not break your fast. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, guys, we have the sister Amira, her and her mother. Yes, my Q&A is at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in 1 hour. In fact, I'm going to log out right now, guys, because I just thought about it. I got the Ask Sister Laila live show. And by the way, did y'all see the ad I put up? Today, I'm going to go over 4 more signs of a scrub. When you sisters go into these masjids, I'm going to cover 4 more signs of a scrub. We're going to talk about how he ain't got no car. And yes, usually the scrub has 2, 3, or 4. Hello. That's another thing. 2, 3, 4. Did y'all see the ad I put up? So make sure you guys are here for the Ask Sister Laila live show. Let me show it to y'all. That's my little commercial thing. Hold on, this one here I did. Y'all see that? They go missing in action too. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that. Oh yeah. The scrub usually has 2, 3, or 4, and the scrub usually goes missing in action. We're going to talk about that tonight at 9 o'clock. And also we're going to talk about how the scrub don't have nothing to bring to the table, but he can put it down in where you know where. So we're going to talk about that tonight too. So please tell all the sisters to be here at 9, which is in 1 hour. So I can do the Ask Sister Laila live show, and I'll answer your questions about Islam, and I'm going to give you some more warning signs to beware of that brother at the mosque that's up in your face trying to get your Wali's number ain't nothing but a scrub, rub-a-dub-dub. All right, so I'm going to close out. I'll be back in 1 hour, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka.